Welcome. Today, I'm going to be talking about I will say the non-negotiable, but really the foundations and the keys to healthy hormones in menopause. Healthy hormones in general, actually, but very specifically if you're struggling during menopause, if you're having a lot of symptoms, hot flashes, trouble sleeping, anxiety, depression, problems with your weight, you're going to want to pay attention to this. And I'm going to do a special bonus at the end. It's like just an extra bonus that tool resource that will help you. It's actually foundational to having a more smooth, let's call it, menopause transition. And I'm going to give you a reset tool at the end, to sort of a mini exercise that you can use to help reset your system and bring a little more ease into your perimenopause or menopause journey. So we're going to do that. So welcome. My name is Angela Warburton. I am an Eastern medicine practitioner with over 25 years of clinical practice, working with women at all stages of life, but in particular, midlife and menopause lately. I just focus on women in midlife and menopause because the messaging that we have out there is very depressing. It's negative. Women in Western culture, for sure, in North America, have some of the worst symptoms during menopause than anywhere else in the world. And that is completely avoidable when we understand the body. And so I'm here to help you understand your body and give you very practical tips and tools to help support you during your perimenopause and menopause transition. I'm also a postmenopausal woman, and just entering into that stage, I found it to be very depressing. Just our story about what it means to be a modern woman aging is not healthy, it's not helpful, and it's not true. So I'm also here to help bring a little more space to this. What is menopause? This is a very normal, healthy transition. It's a life stage transition, just like birthing gets us into life and puberty gets us into being a fertile adult. Menopause gets us into what we call in Eastern medicine the second spring. It is a rebirth. It is a time of renewal, and we're shifting. There's a lot of shedding. There's a lot of stuff that needs to go. And sometimes our bodies will make it known what needs to go by symptoms and discomfort. So pay attention, but there's lots that you can do and you do not have to suffer. So every week I bring different aspects, the body, the mind, the spirit, the soul. Say it's the science and the soul of menopause, really here to help support you during this really powerful transition. So welcome. So today I'm going to talk about the 4 foundations of healthy hormones. So hormones just don't appear in our body. We have systems that are part of the cascade of making the hormones available to our body, but everything in our body, our ability to be alive basically comes from the food that we eat. And when we're eating certain foods, that is the foundation of health and vitality, but for sure, healthy hormones. So I've done 2 previous episodes on how to eat to build your estrogen, how to eat to build your progesterone. I'm going to be continuing to do some things on managing cortisol, also your testosterone, because women often are low in testosterone, and it's no fun for the libidos and stuff. So we're going to be talking about that. But first and foremost, just eating a whole food diet, excuse me, eating a rainbow. So you want to get a mix of variety of food in your daily, weekly life. You want to add in spices. You're going to want to make it, the more nutrients or the more diversity within your food, the better. Whole foods as much as you can. It's going to help keep your gut biome strong, but it's going to give you all the different building blocks that you need to create the different hormones. Because believe it or not, different foods will help build different hormones. So progesterone, one of the first hormones to really start to decline around 35, which can affect our sleep. It can affect a lot of things that women are complaining about, can be built naturally through starchy carbohydrates. So foods like squash, beets, sweet potatoes, yams. Those are all, when sometimes if you're PMSy, you're going to crave carbohydrates. There's a reason for that. Also the broccoli, cauliflower, they're going to help. Some of the citrus, orange, lemons, limes, they're going to naturally build your progesterone. So if you want to know more about those specifics, you can watch those other videos and I'll put them in the show notes. But just if you're eating diverse food, whole food, lots of whole food fibers, you're going to be doing you're going to do something good for your body. And amazing thing is 7 to 10 servings of fruits or vegetables a day. So a serving is a half cup of cooked vegetables or a full cup of raw. It's not a lot. 7 to 10 has a 70% reduction in disease, all diseases. So if you want to stay healthy, this is a very simple way to do it. So that's number one. The number two for the 4 keys is making sure you actually can digest the food that you're eating. So your digestion so it's what you're putting in, but then your body's ability to break it down is key for your body to do the first stage of hormone building, if you will. In Eastern medicine, we look at the digestive system, the stomach in particular, like a pot. So if you're trying to cook something on the stove, and say you're trying to cook a soup and you put all the food in, you need to put on some heat in order for it to break down and for your body to absorb those nutrients. And so if you're putting in constantly icy food, raw food, cold food, sometimes your body's not actually able to break down the food. If you're getting bloating after you eat, if you get congestion, fatigue after you eat, if you have loose poop all the time, that means your stomach actually isn't doing the optimal job absorbing or breaking down your food. So 2 little things you can do to strengthen your digestion. One, cook your food, particularly in the colder months. So fall, winter, spring, you're going to want to have more cooked food than you have raw. You can have a little combo on those the months outside of winter. So spring, you can start adding in a little raw food, and in the fall, you start decreasing the raw food and add more warm food. That's going to help. And then there's a saying we have in Chinese medicine. It says, your stomach doesn't have teeth. So if you put it in a form that is really easy to break down, basically it's creating this pureed soup in your stomach. If you actually put it in that form, your stomach's going to be a lot happier. It's going to be really easy to digest. So this is helpful to do anyone, particularly in those colder months, but for sure, if you're someone who struggles with digestion, I have so many women that come in and they're like doing the smoothies and doing raw salads and they feel awful, but the food isn't bad. They think this is good for me. Why? It can't be that. But sometimes it's just that your body it's too hard. It's like you're trying to cook a soup and you keep putting ice blocks into the soup and your body can't actually break it down. So sometimes just starting your day with warmer food, having soups with some raw food, having things not out of the fridge cold, but more room temperature, little things you can do to change your digestion can make a huge difference. You're going to feel better. Your energy is going to be better. You're not going to feel so like flat out after a meal, or like I said, just right through your poop's going to be better. You're not going to have congestion. So that's number 2, digestion, really important. The third stage, because this is as your body goes through the small intestine, that's where we absorb nutrients into our system. And then things need to go through the liver. And so the liver, we think it's a very big detox organ for sure. In Eastern medicine, it encompasses a lot more. We say that the wood system or the liver system. It filters toxin, but it's really important in getting rid of extra hormones, but also making them available it transforms them into a form that our body can actually absorb the hormones. And so if your liver is congested, you're going to see things like you can have pain in your side. So it can be actually something showing up in your liver, but it can be irritability, PMS. If you get strong period pains, that can be a side. There's a stuck energy in that system. If you have liver spots, those little brown spots showing up in your skin. If you're someone who's chronically tight in your shoulders, your occipital region, and your head, that's the liver system can be congested. I did a couple of videos on the liver, so you might want to check those out. But if you're irritable all the time, frustrated, intolerant of things, you can have this pent up or built up energy, and it's going to affect that liver system. And so you want to eat foods that are going to help facilitate cleansing the liver. So my favorite always are green foods. I'm going to pop a link for a green soup recipe in the notes, because that's one of my favorite ways to get both that easy to absorb. It's going to help build the blood. It's going to help nourish. It's going to help cleanse that liver, and it's going to help you just absorb nutrients. So clean and green for sure. But the next biggest thing to keep your liver healthy is manage your stress. I'm going to give you a tool at the end here to help with stress management, but manage your stress. If you're stressed, looking at what are the main causes of stress, what can you control, what can't you control? Just minimizing or breaking up your day so that you're not piling one thing after another, and you're giving yourself some space to actually be, and not just that chronic pushing yourself beyond your limits. That can be a huge component of stress for many women. And another thing that really helps with this system is movement. When we're stressed, we have this circulating cortisol, extra energy in our system. It needs to get out. And so, because when we're stressed, our body's kind of primed for fight, flight, freeze also as well, but we're ready to move in some ways. And so if we're just stressed and sitting still, or we don't move enough, then that can have a buildup of stress hormones in our body. Doesn't have to be complicated with movement. Enjoy it. I always say, like, little bursts. You can, go to the bathroom and then jump around for a little bit. You can do old school, like jumping jacks, or do a few push-ups, or put on a song and move. If you're angry, put on a song that's going to release some of that angry energy, or just move your body in that way. Walk around the block. Little short bursts of exercise, 15 minutes of a run and then a walk, a run and then a walk, like a minute and 2 minutes of recovery, a minute, 2 minutes. That actually has been shown to reduce cortisol levels in your system, reduce that stress. Lots of little things you can do, but this is the third stage. So keeping that liver system moving well and functioning well, that's super important for healthy hormones. Then the fourth component is making sure that your toxic load is low. So toxins build up in our system. Toxins can come from our food, from our air, can come from emotions. And one of the biggest culprits I see with women is actually our body care products. So the things that we put on our skin to moisturize, any kind of, a lot of times, anti-aging products, or different skincare products that are not natural and are made from synthetics. Anything overly processed foods, our body's going to have to process that. That adds to the toxic load in our body. And the thing, when we have built up toxins with our skin, anything that we puts on our skin gets absorbed through our system. And what will happen is it will actually block our hormone receptors. So we might have, if you're eating well, you're digesting decently, your liver is moving, but you have a high toxic load. It's like putting cling film wrap or saran wrap around the receptor of your hormone. So you have all these hormones ready to lock on, but they can't actually connect, so they're not available to us. So watching clean beauty, I just did a little bit of a talk on clean skin, but just getting really simple with what you put on your skin. I just use things like coconut oil, shea butter. You can use avocado oil on your skin, and it's a great moisturizer. You can make a really nice body butter for yourself that exactly what's in it. You can put essential oils in it, whatever. It can be a beautiful, very effective product, but not adding to that toxic load. So there's lots of clean beauty out there. Cleaning products, another important thing to look at. And then the quality of food that you get. If you can afford organic, great. If you can't, even just washing your food in a little bit of vinegar and water and letting it soak to get some of those pesticides off your foods. If you want to know what are the biggest culprits for toxic loads in your system or in farming, and the ones that have the highest pesticide, like the ones they use the most pesticide on, you can look at the Environmental Working Group, or it's ewg.org, and they have a list called the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. So you can actually look at the quality of foods and what's in there. So those are your four: food you eat, making sure your body can break it down, making sure your liver is happy and healthy, love your liver, and then the toxic load, watching that. So those are the four keys. And then the fifth key, this is kind of the secret I see for women, for sure, modern women, and especially during this transition of menopause, because something different is called for. You cannot keep operating in the same way you have. And I think a lot of times women think, what's wrong with me? I'm being lazy. I just can't do the same things. I've just got to push it through further. And that's missing the point. We need to slow down. We're going to have changes. That's normal at this side. So just honoring your body and your system and your need for rest is essential. I think one of the key, I know one of the key suppliers of hormones post-menopause is our adrenal glands. And our adrenal glands are going to get taxed. In Eastern medicine, we say it's the kidney system. If the more we push through and override our need for rest, the more we don't allow ourselves, we bully ourselves. I say we all have this inner bully that is pushing us through. The more we push through on and deny our need to rest, the more our adrenals get burned out. And then we don't have the resources there to provide the hormones and be that source of that from when we're postmenopausal. So one of the simplest things that you can do is to honor yourself moment to moment throughout the day and just fill up your tank with those micro little things. So just first step is like, I often put my hand on my heart and it's like, what is it that I need? What's the most loving thing? What is the kindest thing? What is it that I need right now? And just listen. And sometimes, they might be big things coming through, but sometimes it's these little tiny little things. In the last number of years, sometimes I'll be pushing through on something. I have a deadline on something and I can feel myself getting a little tighter, a little tighter. And when I check in, it's like, I just want to go lie down and look at the trees for a minute, and I'll just walk. I'm working from home right now. So, and other times I'm not, I might just walk outside and sit somewhere. Right now I'll go out and sit in my garden and just look at the trees and just be without doing anything. And it doesn't take long. Usually it's 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go back in. So it doesn't have to be much, but any of these little micro breaks, go to the bathroom when you need to go to the bathroom, get a glass of water when you need to get a glass of water, do whatever you need, get up and move, stretch, those little things. And there's one little tool I'd love to give you that I find to be really helpful, because often people are like, I don't have the time, I've got to do all these things, it's so busy, blah, blah, blah. But people, we have more time than we think. And so what I have a little tool, I like to call it the 1-minute meditation. And I know you have 1 minute. I know you do. And so 1 minute, they found that if you do 7 breaths in 1 minute, it has a natural ability to calm anxiety, to reduce, to relax your system, and it actually changes. We sort of shift out of that fight or flight and into the more that parasympathetic, that rest and digest. So a little tweak with this. If you make your exhales longer than your inhales, so we'll call it a 2x breath, 2 times longer on your exhale than your inhale. So you breathe in for 3 counts, breathe out for 6 counts. And you can just do that. Try to breathe into your low belly if that's possible. Some people, it's all stuck up here. That's fine. Just go as low as you can in your breath. Maybe think of breathing into the lower back ribs. Breathe in for 3. Breathe out for 6. Breathe in for 3. Breathe out for 6. And just do that 7 times. And I tell you, your perspective is going to change. Your body will calm, it will relax, and then you'll have more capacity. So the more you're able to do that just throughout your day, if you're sitting at a stoplight, just do a 2x breath. Just be where your hands are. If you're feeling stressed, even when you're going to take a pee, just do a 1-minute breathing meditation while you're there. There's so many different ways that you can do this. So there you go. That's the foundations, with a little bonus of how to help build healthy hormones in your body and how to feel good throughout menopause, because you can, I promise you that. So thank you for listening. Thanks for being here. If you like this video, please like it. If you want more like this, I am adding multiple videos every week, so hit subscribe. And if you know someone that would benefit from this, please forward it on. I am here to help serve women and give you the tools to feel good through midlife and beyond. And it is totally possible. So thank you for being here. Have a beautiful day or evening. I will see you next time.